Hey guys, welcome back to another Underground Virtuosos video. My name is Paul. I'm a violin viola teacher located in San Diego, California. So today we're going to be talking about the part 2 of spiccato. Specifically, we're going to talk about what I like to call an artificial spiccato stroke. And the reason I call it artificial is because we're really not letting the bow do its thing because it's unable to when we play a different part of the bow. Instead, we actually have to step in and use our arm, our hand, our fingers to help the spiccato, artificial spiccato to sound like a normal spiccato. Okay, and to look like one too, actually. So we're gonna get into that, and with that, we'll also talk about a different type of longer spiccato, which will come hand in hand with this artificial spiccato. If you haven't seen part 1 and you don't know what spiccato is, please be sure to check that out. There's a lot of important information in that video. Okay, so let's get started. So artificial spiccato basically is, if you want to play the spiccato note slower or longer, you cannot really do it in the middle part right here. Just like kind of bouncing a ball, you cannot control how slow the ball bounces, right? You cannot make it slower than its normal speed, which would just be you letting go of the ball and it's going down, comes back up. But what if you want to go even slower than that? Well, luckily we hold our bow, so we actually have a little bit of control, right? So if you want to go slower, you need to go lower and lower and lower in your bow. But if you try to do the bouncing exercise like what we did in the part 1, like so, and just letting your bow bounce, watch what happens if I go lower and lower in my bow. By the time I get to the frog, it's not doing this anymore. It's not really bouncing on its own. And that's just because of how the bow is designed. So what happens there? This is where the artificial spiccato comes in. You have to help the bow to make it look and sound like you're playing spiccato stroke by focusing on the lifts. Okay, so over here and near the middle, you're not really helping it much. You're just continuing. Right, you're just going to continue that bounce by maintaining it. But as you get lower and lower, in order to do that, you have to focus on the lift of the bow. If you don't focus on that, it's just going to stop. Unlike here, it's bouncing and I barely have to do much for it. But if I do it that here, I don't do much, it's not going to do anything. The bow is just going to sit there. So you have to help it come up by focusing on the lifting. Okay. Now, for artificial spiccato, we are actually able to produce a longer spiccato sound as well. So the difference, here's a V shape for your reference. And here is a longer, what I call the U shape, near the lower half. So as you can hear, the notes were much longer. Right? You can hear the difference between the two. One is longer, one is shorter. And in between that is where you might want a shorter but a little bit rounder sound, or you might want a not so long but still round, still on the longer side. So right here, I'm showing you the different possible ranges. Okay, so for the two, depending on the type of music, you should be thinking about, oh, when do I use a spiccato that maybe is more pointy, more short, and when do I use a spiccato that is maybe longer, and that requires artificial spiccato. Okay, so I hope that helps, and you can apply into your own music. And in part three, we will talk about speed versus dynamic for spiccato. All right. Um, Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about spiccato or anything like that, leave it in the comments below. And hit that subscribe button. And like always, thanks for watching.